Welcome back to This Week in Pennsylvania, joined again with Republican Representative Jim Gregory, third-termer from Blair and Huntingdon counties. Thanks for being with us.
Absolutely.
You were the Republican that first crossed over when we had this interesting little Speaker of the House scenario in January, and you were the Republican that called for Mark Rozzi to be the Speaker. You were the guy.
I nominated him.
You nominated him. And then it was several week odyssey of inactivity. And what's your takeaway of that whole saga in Pennsylvania political history?
Yeah, it was not fun to be in my position. Nominated, trusted, was deceived, lied to, demanded his resignation 6 or 7 days later.
Buyer's remorse.
Bonds of trust were broken, and he told people he was going to switch to independent. Told me that he had decided that he had just maybe wasn't sure that he was going to do it. And as soon as I heard that answer, that's when I knew that this was going off the rails and we had to do something to make a correction. And so that's what I led the fight to do, is to get him to resign.
I do want to note that he has said that he had a deal with Republican leadership that they broke, so that's his side of that for
and
sure.
That's fine.
And they married a couple of other things with the amendment that you're very interested in as well. And when they were giving up on that, then he said, I'm not going to live up to my end of the deal.
And I wasn't part of the deal, but the deal with me was that he was going to do it between he and I, and that's all that mattered to me.
Have you had a conversation with him since?
Several.
Okay.
Well, you got to move on. You know, people count on us to get things done, and you got to work with people, and so I've moved on.
Speaking of moving on, the Senate said it's coming into town this week. We should note that, in theory, to get the codes bill done for the budget that still needs to happen. Will the House come in sooner than what they said, which is late September after a special election? Because right now you're in a flat-footed tie. Do you think the House is going to come back?
I have not heard anything to that effect, Dennis. We're certainly we're nimble enough that we could if needed to, but we have to see what the Senate's going to do. And depending on what they do, we'll determine whether or not we do the things that we need to do to finish that other 25% of the budget.
You've been around for a while. What do you take of what do you make of this? How the House is operating with this narrow Democratic majority?
So my first 2 terms, I was in the majority. Now being in the minority, I can only tell you that I liked being in the majority a whole lot more. What was done to them, they feel while we were in the majority, is being done back to us, and it's not pleasant sitting on the House floor watching bills get passed time and time again, and applause from that side. But I am glad that a couple of the bills we talked about earlier in this show is getting bipartisan support, and for that I'm grateful to the other side of the aisle.
You are sitting with us today, but you had to make a trip out from Altoona, and we appreciate that, the Altoona area, Hollidaysburg. There was a special high school diploma that you got to award or had a hand in helping get. Tell us about that.
I was invited to Altoona High School. Lloyd Peck, he is recognized really as the veteran's veteran in Blair County. He left school before he graduated to go to war, and today they decided today is the day to be able to get him. There it is. I love Lloyd.
He's 101?
No, 92.
He looks great.
He's 92, but he's getting his diploma that he didn't get because he signed up to go to war before he graduated, and I think it's just such a great thing to be able to recognize that, and thank you to him for his service.
Tell me his name one more time.
Lloyd Peck.
Nice, and I want to show one last photo. You and I were former sportscasters together back in the day, 30 years ago. That is a Super Bowl, a Steelers Super Bowl.
That's a bag phone too, by the way. The Steelers lost thanks to Neil O'Donnell and 2 interceptions. I'll never forget that, and I don't think Rod Woodson will ever forgive him for that either.
Thanks so much. Great spending time with you.
All right.
Thanks for joining us. Hope to see you next week on This Week.